society, but also the person whom the committee had charged the responsibility of guiding, informing a strategic plan for our organization. It is not the kind of strategic plan that 40 pages and everything. It's just something very brief, about 2 pages. And we have greatly consulted. We have actually spent days coming up with what I'm about to present. Not that I'm any better than any of the members here, but maybe the grace of God was on me concerning this. So what I'm about to present, I think for now, don't follow what is on the book so that we go together. Just be watching on the book. There's so much material that I'm not going to touch on. So members, this is our plan, okay, for the years 2021 to 2026. As you may know, long-term periods starts for 5 years and ahead, okay? Again, even though this is our first AGM, we are assuming this is a full year from January, okay? So it's a period 2021 to 2026. As I've said, that's my name. Now, look at this picture. Can you see it? Yes. What would you tell about that picture? Yeah? Somebody saying she's happy. Somebody else? Healthy. Something else?
Looking at the sky.
Okay. Anyway, out of the many things you can talk about this picture is hope. Doesn't she look like she's looking to the future? Okay. Let's remind ourselves, before I bring the plan that we have, let's remind ourselves some of the things we already know or we have learned in college or in school, wherever. Vision. The Bible says, where there is no vision, people perish. Okay? Some other people says, where there is vision, there is provision. So what is a vision? Even looking at that picture, what is a vision? It's a dream. Okay? It is a dream of where you want to be in the future. Even your own self. So you have a dream right now for your spouse, for your children, and such kind of things. That is, in simple terms, what is a vision. And now, where you want to be, that's the mission. Okay? Look at this picture. What is it showing? What is the person doing? So if you have a vision of somewhere, see, there is how you reach the vision. Simple. That is the mission. So vision is the dream. Mission is the how you reach the dream. Okay? Of course, now we have, in an organization like this one, we will have the functions, the goals that we want to achieve. And that's simply the very things that we want to achieve. Below that, we have objectives. There's a thin line between goals and objectives. But in simple terms, objectives are goals that are time sensitive, okay? It's like I say, I want to be rich, okay? Then somebody else, I want to buy houses in Vika and buy matatus, okay? This one is an objective, we were human, because anasema kitu a bit home, isn't it? Strategies, of course, now, the difference between strategies and everything I have named, strategy comes just, it's on the implementation. So when you have a vision, where you want to go, mission, how you are going it, the objectives and the goals. Now how you implement it, those are the strategies. Below all that is where now you have programs and activities. Those are the small plans that you do, okay? They are physical things. Can we continue from there? Did you note carefully, because I'm going to ask you questions as we progress. This will be our main discussion. You noted carefully? Will you remember those pictures? You need to remember those pictures as we continue. Okay? Now, strategic plan, as we said, is a vision, mission, goals, objectives, activities, all those kind of things. Now, you have heard of people talk about smart farming. isn't it? What is that? Why would anybody do smart farming and another person just do farming? All right? Why does a plant, what makes a plant to be said to be smart? Very good. Anyway, let's continue. For a plant to be effective, science has shown it has to be smart. And what is to be smart? Everything you set yourself to do must be specific. Okay? Like if you say, we will buy land, and somebody says, we'll buy land in Kikuyu. Between the two is specific. Very good. Measurable. All right? As we progress, we'll talk about the goals we have in shares. We'll say, like we have already said, minimum 50,000 shares. What if we say a member should have shares? Is that measurable? No. Very good. So you get measurable. The other one is attainable. What if we say, at the end of this year, you are going to buy a chopper? Is that attainable? In the few remaining months, is it attainable? No. Realistically, is it attainable? No. What if we say, in the next few months, we are going to buy another piece of land in Kikuyu on top of the one we already have? Is that attainable? Yes. So, attain measure. Okay? I wanted you to remember all our goals, objectives, plans, everything must be measurable, must be measured. Okay? If you have a goal that has no measure, so, okay, I was talking about measurable now, and attainable, being able to attain or not being able to attain. Attainable and realistic, actually, in English, very thin line again, okay? But what I want to insist on, friends, some organizations, especially here in Kenya, research has shown, actually here in Africa, so many startups, but very few go far, okay? In Europe and the West, very few startups, and they all succeed. Anyway, so we'll have plans, and you'll see as we continue, plans that we say, this is for the next 3 months, this is for the next 1 year, this is what we will do in this plan, and such kind of things, okay? So now, let's come to, I was just taking you a brief to remind ourselves what's a vision, what's a mission, what's an objective. Let's come home. This is the vision that your leaders have come up with. Remember, vision is a dream of where you want to be in the future. So what does it say? Dynamic, because times will change, so we'll go with the times. Leading, again, they are in a metropolitan and wengine, you want to be ahead of all those others, okay? And again, far. Why will anybody not go to Safaricom Cooperative? There is a housing cooperative at Safaricom, which is open to all Kenyans, and many people don't know. But we want this one to be the one of choice in the future, and that is our dream, okay? Clap for your leaders. How do we go there? One, and rather this is what your leaders have said, to create wealth for our members through real estate and other investments. Of course, when you people are empowered and wealth is created for you, or rather wealth is increased for you, what do you think the rest of the people who are not members in this society will do? They join it. And therefore, by joining it, the vision, number one in the country. Yeah. Did you get that? Yes. So, of course, every organization, including the schools you come from, has many core values. Some meaning the same, but not a student in the whole community can remember at least one. Even you, the very schools you work for have core values, but if you ask at least one, and you're the person dealing with finances, how bad? Okay? So we want to instill good governance, and we had all those anyway. But when your leaders sat down, they came up with what they can do and what they can promise you. So they are promising you, Chairman, good governance, okay? So, of course, that would include following the law, consultations, such kind of things, doing things right. Of course, integrity, okay? efficiency. There are many ways of killing a rat, all right? But there's an efficient way, isn't it? Accountability. We want not to do things because the Ministry of Cooperatives is following us, and not to do auditing because we are being told to do auditing, but to be accountable to you. You know, members, your leaders were greatly impressed by how you responded in buying the 500 shares at 100 shillings, 50,000 during COVID. Clap for yourself. Yes. It is not easy to get 50,000 at such a time as this. Even those who have not reached there, 20, 30, clap for them. Even the one with, I think, 4,000, clap for him or her. Okay? So we want to be accountable because at such a time as this, and in a society like this one, Kenyan society, people entrusting you with 50,000. Some have given, I think there's a member with now 150, clap for him. Yes. So those will be our core values. And of course now I told you what our goals, and this we don't want to divert, at least not in the next coming years. So of course, we'll be buying land for speculative purposes. Do I need to explain that? See, we know speculation. You buy it today, 1, 2, 3 years, raises the value, now you resell, you get gains, isn't it? So who is getting this wealth? Whose wealth is this? You and your children and your children. Okay? Developing for capital gain or rental income and such kind. Buy land, build houses, rent them. Who is the owner of the rent? You and your children. Okay? Real estate, of course, buy property within Nairobi and elsewhere. Members, your leaders, you know, not everything you'll be finding on the wall, but these people hold Zoom, even when there was no movement. We used to have Zoom meetings almost every week, discussing some of these things. You know, do we put all these people's money? Remember the time we had 1 million shillings for a long time. See, you people can get all it. We have the signatures, we can remove all of it. Okay? So, but we have talked of accountability. And what we have said, members, whenever we have money that is idle, we will not give it to the bank to use it for other purposes. We'll buy securities, fixed deposit, and such kind of things. So that will be some of our core functions. And of course, we are doing this, as we said, closer home objectives, enabling members to pull resources together for value addition. You can imagine, I'm sure you, due to the treasurer's report, you'll get report a plot at 2 billion in Kikuyu. But what is your contribution in that? As a member, 50,000. Where can you buy a plot of 50,000 in Kenya? Okay? But just like the rule of insurance, when you come together and pool resources, you do what you cannot be able to do alone. Okay? And that's what is cooperatives. So another thing, of course, as we progress, as you will see in the last part of this strategic plan, there will come a time we will have bought land and we'll be subdividing. And those of us, and of course, will sell at market rates to non-members and at subsidized rates to members. Of course, giving us friendlier timelines. How about that? Let's clap for ourselves. So, this is one of the last parts. I want to repeat something I said at the beginning. You have seen most governments all over the world, they do elections after about 4 years, 5 years, or 6 years, isn't it? Yes. In America, they do elections after 6 years. Is it after 4 years for the president, 6 years for senator, and 2 years for member of parliament? They call them member of the Congress or something. Okay? Why would anybody do that? Why can't they say, let's elect everybody the same day? Okay? Because at any one time, you need plans for right now. We need to know what are these people doing right now. Okay? Short term, that's just 1 year. All right? Mid-term, a period that is not short term, neither is it too long, isn't it? 3 years. Then, of course, our long term in our organization, we want it to be slightly larger than 5 years, to be 6. So that even as you have the cooperative officers say, elections are every 3 years. So ikikuja katikati na uko na dream ya hawa, then kupea hawa can be problematic. So we want to make our long term 6 years. Tumeelewana up to there? Yes. Can we go now to the programs? That's what is in place right now. So remember, members, those who have been following the WhatsApp group, last year we said by April of this year as one of the programs, we will buy, probably before I come to the organization, okay? So by all means, we expect to be 80. I think Mwangi, we are how many right now? 70 something? 75. So if we say 80 times 50,000 is how much? 4 million. So can we say, comfortably say, of course we already have 3 point something, so 800,000 is very little money. Can we say at the end of the year we have had 4 million? This is how we shared out the money, okay? Buy a plot in or around Kikuyu for 2 million shillings. We have it. Actually, we are in the process, and that, can you clap for Mwangi? We already got the pin for this organization even before we launch it. Because you know, at the registrar of land, you need these kind of things. So in the process of changing ownership to whomever now to the cooperative, okay? So that is short term, 12 months, January to December. Is that clear? Good. So after short term, we go to mid-term. In the treasurer's report, by the members, let us get this. When you open a business anywhere in the world, what is expected in the first few months is pumping money and getting less returns. But how about when the years roll? Vice versa. Returns increase, the pumping decreases, isn't it? So for the next 6 years, and knowing this is a housing cooperative, this is not a circle where we deposit and withdraw. This is a housing. This is an investment club like any other, okay? We are expected to pump money here, all right? So this is what we are saying. 2021, 50,000 each, okay? 2022 and 2023, every year another 50,000. Is that so much? So that's 150,000 up to 2023, isn't it? So let's get your people in accounts, you know, calculations very easily. 50,000 tumeishaiondoa na tukaipangia ya mwaka huu. Okay? Sasa tunakona miaka mbili ingine 80 members, 50,000, 2 years. How much is the total? Yes? 8 million. So we can say in total, the 4 million we have talked about and the 12 million in the mid-term, we have how much? 12 for 2021, for 2022, for 2023. So we have already planned for 4 million. Let's plan for 12, for 8. Okay? This is what your leaders had proposed. Of course, we will have a type of discussion that out of the 2 pieces of land, one already bought, and the other one which you're going to see right now, which one are we buying? We develop one of them, okay? Of course, like the one we already bought, it's a prime place. So we could build, I just was trying to do an impression here, not necessarily this is what we are going to build. 2 units, tenancy, okay? In one of the plots. So we develop one. One of us, not far from one of the plots, has done a nice house, okay? And you know how much he spent, of course, cost saving. And we are thinking if we do this in the nearest future, 5 million, it looks small, may be able to do 2 units, na zianze kurentishwa. Where does rent go? It's where will you be getting dividends from? See, those kind of things. All right. Now, 5 million out of 8. What's remaining? This is another plan your leaders have done, that during this midterm period, they are going to travel far and wide, okay? Nanyuki, Nyahururu, Machakos, Kitengela, huko Tala, okay? Huko mbali ambapo Naivasha mnasikia land inauzwa kubwa, pesa kidogo, then you can subdivide, and after some time you resell those plots, isn't it? 3 million looks little money for a big land, but if you have ever gone to those places, you will know 3 million is quite a lot of money, okay? So the reason why I have put this impression is because we'll do a plot, a huge chunk of land for 3 million, subdivide it, sell it to us and to the outsiders. All that is in the midterm plan. Did we get there? Yes. Here comes the thing now, okay? Long term, 6 years. Now we have 2021. 2021 we've already talked about. 2022 we've already talked about. 2023 we've already talked about. Now 24, 25, 26. Put 50,000 times 80 people times 3. It looks a huge dream, but besides 50,000 was a lot of money. Okay? How much is that? Include even year 2020, we are 24 million. Is that right? Yes. So we've already 12 to sharp, kuna kule tumeweka 12. How much has remained? 12. This is the dream of your life. Okay? Somewhere we can get a prime plot of land. Okay? That's why I had to put this impression that it's a developed area and there is an empty space along. Why do we want this developed, plot in a prime area? If you look at the cooperatives that are ahead of us, like Ufundi Cooperative, housing, like Ufundi Housing, you know they have a prestigious plaza in the city center. So we all know that. Other people like this was in Kiambu, that's how they started. So the 12 million, of course, this will come. We just come every year here and agree. We have 10 million here, what do we do it? And we vote and we talk and no, let's not go to Muru, let's go to Keno, you know? So don't be at high. So when we get that plot, we'll just start within the 6 years, we don't have money for developing it, especially based on where it will be, prime area. But what is our dream, even Uko after the 6 years, is to raise a plaza. By what name? How about that? How about that? A plaza in our name. Some of the offices there, Commissioner of Oaths, the advocates. Who are the other people in a map house? Accountants. So we'll have this kind of, it's just an impression, not necessarily we do like that. Of course, we want to do something like, kama zile ziko hapa hivi. So you know how those buildings are looking? We are coming there. Okay? We are serving those people a notice. Yes. We are coming there. Yes. Can we clap for ourselves? Now, as is expected, this is a draft, okay? Good on paper, but it needs actions, all right? We may not, it's a guide. We may or we may not continue in that line based on how you people agree, all right? But that's why you have these leaders. Do you recognize them? Yes. Do you know this one? Yes. Yes? Yes. This one? This one? Yes. This one? No. This is Paul. Yeah. Okay? This one? Yes. Who is that? Who is this? I'm just intentionally bringing these pictures to make you, whatever, alive. So, who is this person? Yes. Nice. Is this Veronica? Yes. Who is this? Salome. The reason the Lord has graciously granted you leaders with wisdom is so that as we progress and as we keep this dream, we will go with the times, okay? When needs arise, we will consult and bring the thing to you, isn't it? Now, look at our future, okay? It's just my own impression. Imagine those akina Kilimanjaro, na uko Gongi, tuko chini kwa valleys ambapo bado kichaka, What if we go there in the future, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 7 years from now, and do something like this? Come at Tatu City, Konza City. How about that? Is it attainable? In the long run? So the strategic plan will be the foundation of other projects to be undertaken in the future. Of course, those plans we talked about in the 6 years will help us. It will be the stone we step on when we are building up there. Okay? Now, here is the catch. Why do you think Kenya government has been failing every time they say Vision 2020? Akikaribia kila mtu ananyamaza. Wanaanza kusema Vision 2030. Ikikaribia tena wananyamaza. Why? Why do you think so? I want somebody to answer. Where is Ken? Why? Why do we have governments in Africa who every time they have a vision, when they reach there, they keep quiet? Don't read there. It's not connected to what is written there.
They mismanage. In the process, there's mismanagement.
Clap for him. Phil, why?
It's because they find out that they're quiet because they find out that after they have evaluated themselves,
Yes.
they didn't attain it.
Very good. And how come we just realize the last minute? Before tukiwa watoto, Vision 2020, kila walimu, kila everybody. But how come when I realize only the last minute? Which is the soil? Why? Why do they realize the last minute? Don't read anywhere, it's not connected. They realize they don't have money the last minute. They had all the time to look for money, donors. Chairman, lack of planning. Very nice. Vice Chairman, why?
When you don't do continuous evaluation,
Yes.
you realize at the last moment
Yes.
that the vision was just on paper.
What? You don't want to know what your target, but I can guarantee you have a target, and at the end of the year, nobody talks about it. You only talk about it in March and February, go up to May. Okay? This is the catch, and this is what has brought Africa behind compared to the rest of the world. The rest of the world realized there is something scientifically called monitoring and evaluation. Okay? Once you have a plan on paper, time flies. You can just reach at the end of the 6 years, 10 years, you have done nothing. But if every month you go back to the plan and ask yourselves, what are we supposed to do? How much have we done? What have we gained? Do you think you'll realize at the end that you have been failing? Because what normally happens when you're doing monitoring and evaluation, you set what are called indicators, okay? Success indicators, parameters that you use to measure the progress, all right? So you measure, we talked about measurability.
Yes.
So we did,
Yes.
and we talked about specificities, specific, isn't it?
Yes.
So you look at those programs, like the programs we are setting today, your committee is giving themselves the mandate, of course you approve it, to follow on each one of them, and every 3 months give a report, okay? I can help you, these are human beings. If you wait for the next 6 years, then we come back to ask, did you buy the land for the plaza? Haitakuwako. But how about if every 3 months we sit down, this is what we say, this is how far we have gone, this is the problem, this is the correctional way, okay? See, people are likely to succeed. So why we fail here in Africa, including in our own businesses, we set goals, but we don't follow them simply because we don't do monitoring and we don't do evaluation, okay? Let me read. The committee commits to quarterly monitoring and evaluation and report to the members on the progress. The evaluation will be based on the above goals, objectives, programs, activities, Of course, with preset targets as we have. So we've talked of some targets.
Yes.
Okay? I hope I'm not going to so technical. Sini even your mambo iko.
Yes.
So how do we do that? Of course, we'll see the inputs that we have employed, like the 50,000 baht. Ile pesa tumewekea project. Okay? Then the output that has been realized, of course, based on the measurability. All right? And then the impact. Remember the vision. See, we remember the vision and the mission. Creating wealth, and mission, and also being at a certain place. So we will be looking at these programs based on how have they helped us. Okay? Members. If you give 50,000 this year, 50,000 next year. Next year, but how about that? Will you be motivated? Very nice. So, this is what the committee wrote. The realization of the goals of this strategic plan is a collective responsibility of every member. Every member's commitment, members, okay, not committee, every member's commitment to the stated plans of action is what will drive us to achievement. Every one of us has a duty. It's best, even us, we actually plead with every one of us. Kusikwe na watu wanalag behind tukianza kufanya hii mambo. So we say every member has a duty to play, and through all that, we will succeed. Okay? So I don't have much. I was just presenting not my own ideas, but the thoughts of your committee, and I have done it to the best of my ability. May the Lord bless you all, and bless Kisaa. Thank you.
God bless you too, Sam. Sisi wote.
So, do you have a chama, a church organization, a school, a circle, a housing cooperative, or any other organization, both micro or whichever form of organization? And probably you need a plan, maybe developmental, maybe a plan for a project, maybe a strategic plan, maybe a plan for a given program, and probably don't know how to go about it. You can reach us on the phone numbers on your screen, and we will help your management, the leaders of your organization rather, to draft one, a plan of that fits your need. We train them, we train the leaders, and then the plan comes from them. We just guide them and we show them how to do it. And finally, we help, if need be, we help the leaders to present the plan to the larger group, rather to the members. If need be, depending on your needs, we go ahead to help do the monitoring and evaluation during the period or the length of the plan. Thank you very much, and be blessed.